We all know the story of the Justice League's founding. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter, uniting in the brave and the bold #28. It's the version we've seen in cartoons and movies. The story we accept as truth. What if the hero who actually brought the team together for the very first time was completely erased from history? His name, his face, his very existence wiped from the memories of his best friends and the world he saved. This isn't a fan theory. This is the tragic, forgotten story of Triumph, the true founder of the Justice League. But what if that wasn't the whole truth? Back in 1960s, the brave and the bold, when the alien Appalachians threatened Earth, 7 of DC's biggest stars answered the call. Sure, it's been remixed over the years. The Justice League animated series swapped Aquaman for Hawkgirl. The DCEU movies brought in Cyborg. He's treating his new allies less like a team and more like pieces on his personal chessboard. The mission was a success, but the team dynamic was a train wreck. The explosion didn't kill him. It ripped a hole in the time stream, tossing Triumph into a dimensional limbo outside of time itself. The timeline snapped shut behind him. Instantly, every memory of William McIntyre was erased from the universe. The Justice League would officially form later, never knowing their true, forgotten founder was trapped. Nerone offered Triumph. His heart's desire has lost 10 years and his legacy in exchange for his soul. Triumph actually refused. The world had turned out just fine without him. That final, crushing realization, combined with the loss of his soul, shattered him, turning him from a bitter hero into a full-blown villain.
Ow.
He was a hero literally created to be a retcon. Should Triumph be remembered as a true founder of the Justice League? A hero who made the ultimate sacrifice? Or was his fall from grace the only legacy he truly earned? Let me know what you think down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. A walking symbol of how easily history can be rewritten. For one brief moment, he was the man who first brought the Justice League together. But his own arrogance, combined with a terrible twist of fate, didn't just deny him his legacy, it twisted him into a monster. He became a villain simply because no one remembered he was ever a hero. But in a cruel twist, the magical candle that would seal the deal was lit by accident by his former teammates. The deal was done. He was defeated, and in a final act of pity, the Spectre turned his body into an ice statue, a monument to a fallen hero, and stored it in the JLA Watchtower. That statue and Triumph with it was later destroyed when the villain Prometheus blew up the Watchtower. A meaningless end for the man who started it all. Watching from an endless prison. As the timeline started to crack, a ghost from the past stepped through, a hero nobody remembered named William McIntyre, who called himself Triumph. Triumph made the call that would define and then erase his life. He realized the only way to stop it was to absorb the unstable temporal energy himself. But for decades in the comics, the story of those 7 heroes was the foundation. It was untouchable, until it wasn't. As reality became unstable, the rift holding Triumph prisoner weakened, and he was violently thrown back into the present day. Realizing world-ending threats would be a regular thing. If you love digging into the weird, forgotten corners of comic book history like this, hit that subscribe button. It tells me you want more stories about the heroes and villains that time left behind, where the rookie heroes he'd assembled were now seasoned legends who had no memory of him. Imagine the bitterness. They made their alliance official, and the Justice League of America was born. Martian Manhunter offered him a spot on the Justice League task force as basically a training team. For Triumph, this was the ultimate insult. He, a founder, was being treated like a sidekick. That constant feeling of disrespect, mixed with his already massive ego, was a toxic brew. He constantly butted heads with Martian Manhunter, until he was eventually kicked off the team. First, let's recap the official story. Turns out it was Triumph who first discovered an alien plot by a race called the Plasma Men. Tactical genius, he gathered the heroes who would become legends. Superman, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Green Lantern, and Black Canary. That core group of 7 became the gold standard. In the mid-90s, an event called 0 Hour threatened to tear DC's history apart. As a teenager, Triumph developed incredible powers, complete control over the entire electromagnetic spectrum. This allowed him to manipulate energy, throw up force fields, and even grant himself superhuman strength and speed. He was insanely powerful, and his massive ego knew it. A 1994 storyline in Justice League America number 92 introduced a massive retcon. He got them in a room, came up with the plan, and led the charge. But for all his genius, Triumph was abrasive and condescending. The Plasma Men's final, desperate move was a weapon that could tear apart space-time itself. With the new team, out of time, and ideas, he flew into the heart of the weapon, a pure sacrifice play. He saved the Earth and his teammates, but the price was bizarre. It's a crazy, tragic story. For 10 years of Earth time, Triumph was adrift in that timeless limbo. Then came Zero Hour, Crisis in Time. He returned to a world a decade older, out of a mix of pity and caution. Alone and rejected, the demon Neron came calling during the Underworld Unleashed event. The final, most brutal joke was on him. The timeline shifted, his history was restored, nothing changed. His presence hadn't really mattered. He later became possessed by an evil genie and attacked the Justice League and Justice Society. The story of William McIntyre is a true comic book tragedy. So what do you think?